Hello and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. Egypt will be an official member of the BRICS starting from this upcoming January 2024. BRICS efforts in forming alternative payment systems and non-dollar financial systems, increasing trade with domestic currencies, and the longer-term possibility of creating a common currency can all benefit Egypt. By possessing membership in the BRICS, Egypt wants to develop alternative supply chains, promote economic growth, diversify the economy, and cooperate with the other BRICS countries, which now also include fellow Arab friends, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. The BRICS represents about 26% of the area of the earth and also about 42% of the world population. So definitely a big grouping there, a big market, and the role of BRICS countries in a world economy is also on the rise. We'll be talking about the opportunities that this move, Egypt's joining of the BRICS, the opportunities for Egypt after joining the BRICS. This will be our main topic for tonight. But as always, we will first take a look at our stories making the headlines for this past week, our top economic stories. And we start here in Egypt, where the Global Congress on Population, Health and Development, the PHDC 2023, is continuing its activities for the second straight day on Wednesday in the new administrative capital. More than 8,000 persons from Egypt and world countries are taking part in the four-day conference, which is held under the theme Healthy Population for Sustainable Development. On Tuesday, President Sisi witnessed the opening session of the conference, during which the National Population and Development Strategy was launched. Also, a roadmap to deal with the overpopulation issue by enhancing population characteristics and improving the quality of life was launched on the first day of the conference's activities. As many as 270 Egyptian and foreign speakers are participating in 65 panel discussions during the four-day conference. The conference brings together all those concerned with health, population and development issues at the global, regional and national levels, as well as representatives of international and civil society organizations, the private sector and entrepreneurs. And Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli has asserted that the Africa Climate Summit is coming at a time when the world, especially Africa, is witnessing increasing negative climate change impacts. Madbouli referred to drought waves in the Horn of Africa and Sahel region, deadly hurricanes and fires in the Arab Maghreb, deadly hurricanes and Arab Maghreb wildfires, in addition to rising sea temperature. He made the remarks during his participation on behalf of President Sisi in the General Assembly of the Africa Climate Summit, currently held in Nairobi, Kenya, under the theme of Driving Green Growth and Climate Finance Solution for Africa and the World. He thanked Kenyan President for hosting the summit and conveyed the greetings of President Sisi. He said the summit comes a few months after Egypt's success in hosting the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP27, noting that Egypt was keen to come up with tangible outcomes in order to accelerate implementation of climate related projects on the ground. Egypt was keen to make COP27 a milestone in highlighting the needs and circumstances of Africa in light of the dangers and challenges posed by climate change. Madbouli commended a vision tendered by the United Arab Emirates, the president of COP28, on the future of transition to renewable energy. And the sixth session of the National Dialogue Economic Axis kicked off on Tuesday at the Cairo International Convention Center with a wide participation of experts in different spectra of the society. The Inflation and Price Hikes Subcommittee, which convenes under the Economic Axis, is discussing over 2 sessions the issues of price hikes and means of mitigating the burdens on citizens. Also, the Subcommittee on Public Debt, Budget Deficit and Financial Inflation will address reducing public debt and maximizing the benefits of internal and external loans. The Industrial Subcommittee is discussing the objectives and the roadmap of the industrial development in the short and medium terms, in addition to problems facing standing and stumbled industries and the introduction of new industries to the markets. Time now to watch a report on our main topic for tonight, the opportunities for Egypt after joining the BRICS. We will come back here after the report and start our discussion with our phone guests after the report by Rasha Abdelhamid and Abir Hussein.
According to figures from the World Trade Organization, economies of the BRICS countries will account for roughly $26 trillion in global output, control about 17% of global commerce, and account for 27% of the planet's surface area. Johannesburg, South Africa, recently hosted the 15th BRICS Summit. At the conclusion of the summit, it was announced that 6 new nations would join the BRICS group, which already consists of South Korea, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Iran, and Ethiopia, in addition to India, Brazil, Russia, and China. The BRICS leaders hope to achieve balance in both international relations and the world economy. Only 6 nations have managed to join BRICS, with membership taking effect at the beginning of next year, despite the fact that more than 40 nations have shown an interest in doing so, and that roughly 24 nations have made official requests to do so. According to the World Bank's Global Development Indicators, the BRICS bloc has been successful in achieving significant economic growth during the previous 20 years, as the share of its economies in the world output climbed from 17.8% to 25.7% between 2010 and 2022. In terms of their involvement on the world stage, the BRICS bloc nations are funding ambitious international initiatives like China's Belt and Road Initiative and the creation of 100 smart cities connected to express trains in India. In addition, Russia wants to create a new economic link between Europe and Asia with the Russian Far East. The BRICS nations are looking to use their currencies in trade exchange or to start using a different unified currency for the members of the bloc in an effort to find alternatives to the dollar-based trading system. Due to its rapid growth, the bloc will by the following year account for nearly 43% of the world's oil production, nearly 30% of the global gross domestic product, and more than 45% of the world's population. This places the bloc in a strong position to influence world politics in the years to come. There is no doubt that Egypt's membership in the BRICS group opens up promising prospects for cooperation with the economies of its members, increasing the opportunities for trade exchange, bolstering the competitiveness of the Egyptian economy, and aiding in the attraction of more investments to the competitive business environment in Egypt. The BRICS countries also represent an important source of foreign investment flows, opening up more options for Egyptian companies and capitals. Egypt's membership in BRICS is a sign that its diplomatic efforts to promote its vision for the expansion and diversification of the world economy in support of sustainable development were successful. Additionally, it reaffirms the beliefs of the bloc nations that Egypt will add significantly to quality at all levels. By joining the group, Egypt will also gain from expanding its role on the global stage by pursuing a number of objectives. First and foremost is seeking to increase participation and cooperation with nations that are not BRICS members, promoting global security and peace for economic growth and political stability, and pledging to reform the international financial institutions so that emerging and developing economies will have a stronger voice, along with collaborating with the global community to keep multilateral trading systems stable, enhance the climate for international trade and investment, and strive towards achieving the sustainable development targets and multilateral environmental agreements.